Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Janet Yung, and in my channel, I share about Feng Shui, Ba Zi, entrepreneurship, as well as personal growth, especially in the areas of motivation, communication, and leadership. In today's episode, I'm actually going to talk about the 2021 influence on those born on the day of metal. So this is already the fourth element that we're looking at for the day masters itself. If you have missed any of the episodes, please do remember to go to the video description to watch for those that I've covered in the last few weeks for wood, fire, and earth. So without further ado, let's move on to the next segment. Before we begin, as usual, please remember to go to bazicalculator.janetyong.com to download your Ba Zi chart to know which day element you belong to, or you can scan the QR code as shown on this particular slide. Again, we are basically looking at the day the person is born as shown in this particular Ba Zi chart highlighted in the red circle. And we are basically going to investigate the 2021 elements influence on the day master after the 2021 horoscope forecast, where I talked about all the different animal horoscope and what it means if the animal horoscope is within your year, month, day, and hour. So when we're looking at 2021, the year of yin metal ox, we're looking at yin metal, which represents basically small metal or the image of jewelry, as well as ox, which has the main influence of earth in the year 2021. So we are going to see how these actually react or influence the kind of skill sets that you need to pick up in the year 2021. Here, like I mentioned earlier in a lot of my other episodes as well, basically going to look at what kind of skill sets you need to pick up, and I usually utilize the Asian personality profiling system to showcase this so that it's easier for you all to understand. As you can see on the circle that it's actually on the right hand side, it can mean the analysis influence, the people, the idea, the action, or the process influence. So let's take a look at those born on the day of metal. Now for metal in this year, basically you have the people orientation influence in the first half of 2021. What does people mean? People usually means you have to work on your communication skills, your human connection skills, and your networking skill sets. And in the second half of 2021, for those born on the day of metal elements, what you'll be looking at is the analysis influence itself. Now, analysis influence normally involves some kind of learning, research, and thinking. Let's dive into each of the metal element day masters to take a look as to what are the exact influences. For those born on the day of young metal. Now, young metal is the image of stainless steel structures, as well as another image is that of the axe. So usually young metal people are righteous, they are upright, they like execution, and they are forthright. If you want to know and understand more about your characteristics, please do go to the Asian personality profiling series like I am pointing here right now, so that you can understand your character, because by understanding and being self-aware, you can basically maximize your potential, and when the year's influence come in, you can build on your skill sets. So for the first half of this year, those born on the day of young metal would need to basically develop what we call the influence skill set, especially with the leader profile influence. Now, leader profile is generally about inspiring people towards a common goal, motivating and influencing people towards a common set of goals. Now, for those born on the day of young metal, they generally are quite forthright. So they have to learn then how to use the soft skill sets in terms of human connection, rather than telling from what some would call a bossy or authoritative leadership style, but more towards that of an influence, so that people will work towards the common goal sets itself. If you are young metal and you have not developed this skill set, observe people who are good at inspiring and influencing people, and that's how you can pick up this skill set itself. Now, for the second half of 2021, the young metal will go through the influence of analyzer. Analyzer generally means research, understanding, and learning. So the research can generally mean maybe because you are going into a new area, therefore you need to pick up analysis and research skills and understand the market. Go for a study course to build up your skill sets. However, if you are already a thinker-based profile, be it the philosopher or analyzer, then you need to be aware that you do not want a situation where you overanalyze and then have analysis paralysis. Now, to understand this more, again, please refer to the previous link that I mentioned earlier on the Asian personality profiling, such that you can chart your chart and understand what kind of orientation you are and what is your base profile. What about those born on the day of yin metal? Yin metal, like I mentioned earlier on, is the image of jewelry. So for the first half, basically the friend influence will come in. Now, unlike the leader influence, which is basically inspiring a bigger group, the friend influence is usually about building confidence in a smaller team, trying to get a smaller team to work together. And generally for the yin metal person, it shouldn't be that big of an issue because usually are pretty good at negotiation, also trying to influence others. The only thing you need to watch out for is try not to basically give people the perception that you are manipulating them, but come from a heart and empathy perspective such that you can connect and understand the other person from their perspective before you influence them. In the second half of 2021, basically the philosopher profile, which is also a thinker orientation or analysis orientation, is coming into your charts. Now, what does that mean? Unlike the analyzer, which is more into detail, research, meticulous understanding, the philosopher is really looking at bigger trends and understanding where this market is going. So usually it is great for observing people, learning from the market, looking at overall trends. Now, in this particular case, then you need to learn to take a step back, understand the bigger trends so that you know where to move forward to. If you want to understand the philosopher profile, it's just like Warren Buffett. He basically study, research, understand the trends and invest in companies that has got good, capable management, but not necessarily doing the work themselves. So that's what usually philosopher profile is being street smart, is being intuitive, is being understanding where the big market is going. This comes to the end of the metal day element influences. I hope you have picked up something useful for you to move forward in the year 2021. Coming up next Tuesday, 16th of March at 6:30 p.m., I'll be sharing on how you can build resilience and create multiple streams of income in a free webinar. So I have the links in the video description. Please do remember to sign up. And if you have not, please also vote in our Telegram channel or the YouTube channel on the topic of your interest. And I'll see you during the webinar next Tuesday. See you next week. Goodbye.